Hi everyone, Shooter Rex here. So, are you one of the new gun owners out there? And just like me, about back in 2017 when I owned my first gun, that to be honest, we haven't really had much of a training, and you have a little bit of nerves in you, like you're nervous about owning your own gun and using it. Well, this video is for you. Back in 2017, somewhere in July, is when I owned my first handgun. It was a Ruger American pistol in the 9mm. So I've noticed that a lot of local gun stores here in the United States have a sudden increase of sales with both their rifles and ammos. So this video is made not to bash on those new gun owners. It's not about that. This is just to show you some basic things to remember as you get familiar with holding or using your handguns. Because I was there, and the most important thing is safety. Second thing is, when you get a chance, attend some classes, get some basic pistol training. I know in some of my local gun range here in Appleton, we have Fireline Shooting and Training Center that offers beginners class. And also with Trigger Action Sports. They do offer classes for those of you new gun owners and those of you that would like to get introduction on basic pistol shooting. Now, as you know, I am not an expert on this, but I am just sharing with you some of my personal experiences on how to go about handling the gun. For this video demonstration, I'm going to be using this Glock 19 Gen 4. It has a 15 round magazine capacity. Well, a lot of the people that I would see coming out of gun stores would be carrying a Glock case anyway, so might as well use this for the demonstration. This is pretty basic, and I will be sharing some of my own thoughts, my personal experiences based on how I went about handling my guns for the first time. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first time you will receive your gun definitely will be inside a case, a hard case like this, or a soft case. So when you open it, the first thing you need to do is obviously open it first. Now, when you see that the gun, which direction it's pointing, I would suggest just turn it away from you and make sure it's pointing towards the safe direction. Grab the handgun with your index finger or your pointing finger extended so that you won't have your fingers go in the trigger guard. Pick it up as such. So as you can see, I don't have any fingers on the trigger or inside the trigger guard. And the next thing you want to do is, usually it'll come with a magazine, so just slide it back. You will see that as it slides back, you should inspect it and make sure there is no ammo inside. Check the chamber and the barrel. Physically check it, and then just release the mag. The next thing we're going to talk about is the type of ammunition. In this case, we're using 9mm. The difference of what would be used for some target shooting or range practice, and most of the time it'll just be an ammo similar to this. Now they could be 115 grain, 124, and so on, but this is just a full metal jacket. And the difference with a defensive ammo would be something like this. So that is because when you use this type of ammunition, this will just go through and penetrate whichever target you shoot at. But this one, the hollow points, would kind of stop on target because this part would open up into like a mushroom shape, and that way it will avoid penetrating all the way and hitting other stuff behind your target. So that's that. I hope that's clear for you, that this would be something you use as far as just practicing or in the range. This one is something that you would like to get as defensive ammo. Now over here I have what we call some snap caps. Snap caps are just for practice, and you don't have to worry about these ones because even if you have this on chamber, it will not fire. It's like dummy rounds. These are called, also known as dummy rounds. So when you pick up your magazine, in this case this is a Glock 19 mag with 15 rounds, all you need to do is hold it with one hand, grab the ammo, press, and then slide in. I'll do that again. Press down and simply slide in. So that is when you're just doing it by hand. Now, Glock also provides this speed loader. It's plastic, but gets the job done. So basically what you just need to do is you hold the magazine with one hand, hold the speed loader on the other, you insert it, press down, that gives it a little bit of a space for the next round to come in, and then simply keep doing that again and again. That just kind of helps your thumb not to get hurt and will make it easier for you to load your ammunition. Now here's another thing that some new gun owners may need to know is that after you picked up your gun, let's say you have just an empty magazine. You've inserted it, and then this is your slide lock. There's a couple of ways to move the slide forward, and number one is to simply press this and the slide will lock forward, and if there's an ammo in the magazine, it will chamber around ready to go. So another way of doing that is to simply press this and pull this slide back as you press it, just like that. Let me do that again. Press this part, slide back, and there you go. Now before I even release the trigger, I'm just double checking, make sure it's safe to do so. Let's say you already have your magazines loaded. In this case, we're just using some snap caps or dummy rounds. I have about, I think, 5 rounds in it. So pick up the gun, push that magazine in, and then slide to put one in a chamber. Just simply slide and release fast like this. And you'll see that there is already a round in that. Let's say you've finished shooting and you know that there's still a round in the chamber. Simply just do this. Release, double check, and pull the trigger. Now, let's say that you have a round in the chamber, you're shooting, and then suddenly, as you shoot, it did not respond. So, what you could try to do is pull back the slide quickly, and let that round eject out for a new round to pop in, just like that. And then you're ready to go. If it doesn't, do it again. For this last part of this video, let's say you're doing some shooting and then for some reason you get a misfire, and after doing a couple of rounds, let's say there's even a jam to it, what you need to do is release the mag or simply just let it drop, grab a fresh mag and pull. And that ejects the previous round to it, because you don't know if it was the mag or if it was the round that was in the chamber that has a problem. Then at least you have a new round to start shooting with. Another thing you can check out with your new gun is most of the time the guns would have different sets of back straps. With H&K, they have different side grips as well. This one has a beaver tail, so it really depends on the size of hand that you have and also what's comfortable for you as far as shooting. The last thing I want to point out, if you are one of the new gun owners and you happen to purchase a Glock pistol, is this. A lot of Glock shooters talk about a grip angle, and that is because if you'll notice that the way this Glock is designed, it has a certain angle that if you try to hold it straight this way, the muzzle or the tip of the barrel is pointing upward. Therefore, as a Glock owner or a Glock shooter, you have to have your grip angle like this first, and then hold it in such a way that you're raising it up so that your gun is pointing parallel or leveled to the ground. Now, if I were to hold it straight, notice how my angle is pointing up. So the grip angle for the gun for a Glock pistol would be like this. Again, one last time, just to explain. This way, if I were to hold it straight like this, you'll see that my gun is pointing up. But if I were to angle it and now raise it up, I hope that is a clear illustration of how grip angles are done, how you should be holding or aiming with your Glock. Here's an example of the grip angle as far as my point of view. So when I hold the Glock pistol, should be at a different angle. Okay. If I'm holding it straight, you'll see that my front sight is higher than my rear sight. What I would like to do is keep it kind of lined up like this and even from this side, from the rear sight as far as the side. You can see that white kind of like goal post of a football field. So there you have it. That is just a quick introduction as far as basic handgun, kind of like things to remember. And like I said before, I am not a pro or an expert on this, but because of my YouTube channel and what's going on right now, I feel like people have the right to purchase their own gun. But what can I do to somehow help you guys? Number one, to be safe. Number two, to get familiar with how to use a handgun. And there will be other people that would say, hold it this way, put your thumb. Those are really good things to consider, but in the end, it really depends on your physical feature. Like my hands are really small, so recoils for me are hard to control, but you just have to find a way to get comfortable and train, practice, go to the range, spend some time shooting and getting familiar with your pistol. I am probably the worst person to say that get familiar with just one handgun because I have a couple of guns, but it's just that it's a hobby that I enjoy. So enjoy your new handgun. Please be safe. Again, make sure to point it at a safe direction. When you're at the range, make sure when you set your guns down, point it towards downrange, and only put your fingers on the trigger when you're ready to shoot your target. So once again, this is Shooter Rex. I hope this video would be a little bit of a help for you, and stay safe out there. Don't forget to follow the guidelines for World Health, from the World Health Organization. We will get through this at some point. Just be safe out there. So I hope you enjoyed and you liked this video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.